Magandang araw ulit, Pilipinas. Ah, Magandang araw sa mga guys and gals out there and to our non-binary pals as well. Uh, Today is May 8th and kahapon, last day ng kampanya, and tomorrow we hold our national elections. First of all, I'd like to congratulate the Philippines for conducting the most divisive and polarizing elections ever in my adult life. I congratulate you in the most satirical or ironic way because it's not something that should be celebrated. Noong 2016, akala ko sobrang polarized at divided na ang Pilipinas. And you've outdone yourselves. We've outdone ourselves, actually. Kasama ako dun. We've managed to really even be more polarized and more divided as a nation. And the way the campaign has been conducted has been one of the worst. And unfortunately, no one side owns a monopoly of how badly this campaign has been conducted. And nakakalungkot talagang isipin itong nangyayari sa ating bansa dahil masyado na tayong polarized. And in as much as the two leading contenders for the presidency have been espousing unity and radical love, it seems hindi siya umaabot sa mga kanilang ilang sa mga kanilang tagasunod at followers. At imbis na sundin yung call for unity or call for love, mas lalo pa silang nag-aaway at lalong naghihiwalay. So it really boggles the mind how these politicians are unable to inspire that behavior in some of their followers. And ang problema pa is ang na-highlight palagi itong negative behaviors rather than yung positive behaviors. Diba? So, paminsan hindi ko na maintindihan kung ano ba talaga ang pinaglalaban. We all claim to be fighting for the future of our country, but we just seem to end up fighting each other. And it's understandable dahil iba-iba tayo ng pananaw kung paano natin maaabot yung better future for our country. But the level of animosity is really troublesome and it's really bothering for me. But whatever. Pagdating bukas, ihahalal natin ng gobyernong gusto natin, di ba? And whatever happens sa result, whether it goes one way or another, we'll end up with the government that we deserve. Whether that's going to be positive or negative, that remains to be seen. I guess we'll see what happens for the next 6 years. But whatever it is, we'll get the government we deserve. That is what democracy is. We get the government we deserve. Not necessarily the best, but what we deserve. Kasi desisyon natin yan eh. Di ba? So, having stated the problem of this polarization of the citizenry ng Pilipinas, perhaps it's time to revisit the structures that allow this type of polarization to happen. First and foremost, I think part of the problem is the multi-party system. The multi-party system na nangyari, tapos meron tayong eleksyon na yung hindi man lang majority wins, basically kung whoever gets the most vote wins, whether it's the majority or not, causes this polarization because it does not actually encourage politicians to uh, compromise or be more inclusive, and it actually encourages whoever is leading to just focus on their core group and then alienate the other groups. That's really a very problematic problem because the way the game, which is the elections, is structured, encourages these behaviors in the candidates and their campaign teams. Bakit? Kasi all you need is, with a multi-party system, all you need is probably around 30%, a base of 30%, and then just build on that, di ba? And then concentrate on that, and then get everybody angry, get your 30% angry with everybody else, and you have, you have a good chance of winning the elections. Now, am I advocating for a two-party system? No, because I think the two-party system also encourages polarization because people will only have two choices, in which case you also dig in to your positions. And it's really what's happening in the United States right now. They have the Republicans and Democrats, and instead of, that I think the people are forced to choose between two, di ba? And that causes polarization. So I believe we need to keep a multi-party system so we get a gradient of options, of ideological options, and then what we need is to change not the party system, but to change how our elections work. We probably need to change our elections to a system where we have runoff elections or ranked choice voting. What does runoff elections or ranked choice voting means? It means na, kung wari, after natin bumoto, sa runoff, after natin bumoto, tatanggalin natin yung mga mas mahihinang candidates, and then we'll run another elections. Yun sa ranked choice voting naman, which is I think a better system, dahil when you vote, you put choice 1, choice 2, choice 3. And in the case, pagtali ng resulta, ang mangyayari, yung lowest na nakuha ng number 1 choice, tatanggalin, at lahat ng second choice ng mga bumoto sa kanya, yun naman yung ipapasok. Tapos ganun and ganun hanggang sa dalawa na lang matira, tapos yun ko compare yung dalawang natira. Tapos yung kung sino mananalo will most certainly get more than 50% of the votes. Why are systems like that better? Because it forces the candidates to not try to anger the voters of the other candidates. Because a second choice vote is just as important as the first choice vote. In fact, baka mas importante pa nga dahil yun yung magsuswing talaga ng eleksyon. That way, the elections and their campaign teams are not encouraged to create a very polarized situation dahil hindi sila pwedeng mag-dig in. Do you get what I mean? So yun eh. Yun. So I think the solution to this problem is structural, and we may have to change our elections process to prevent this from happening in the future. So, yun lang naman. Yun ang ating iniisip na probable solution. Aside from asking for our people to be more level-headed and rational when dealing with elections and less emotional. Di ba? So yun. Like I said, we will end up with the government we deserve. For the next 6 years, we will get the government we deserve. At the end of the day, mag-away-away man tayo, we'll still be sharing the same spaces, the workplaces, the same workplaces, the same places we play in, the same places we worship at. Diba? So, wala namang after the election, yung mga talunan, i-exile natin papunta sa ibang lugar. Wala naman tayong exile island eh. So, we'll still have to deal with each other. And I think the biggest challenge of whoever wins the election is the challenge of ruling or governing a country that is highly divided. Partly their fault, diba? Tignan natin kung anong magagawa nila. Hopefully they'll be able to do something about it. Pero at the end of the day, tayo pa rin naman ang magkasama-sama, tayo pa rin ang maglalaro, tayo pa rin ang mag-iiyakan, tayo pa rin ang magtatawanan, mag-inuman, magkukwentuhan, di ba? Tayo pa rin. So, whatever happens, I hope the citizenry at least manage to go forward and still manage to work together. Sa dulo naman, yung sarili nating buhay, I still believe that we control more of what happens to our lives than what the government can do. So, yes, politics is a very important part of our lives, and we are all very much affected by the government and good or bad governance. But at the end of the day, we'll still have to rely on ourselves. And when I say ourselves, hindi sarili lang natin. Kasama natin yung kapitbahay natin, kapamilya natin, kaibigan natin. And we have to learn to find ways to work together again. Not just with your mga kakampi or kaalyado sa politika. So, I'd like to end with that. And I'd like to end with a message of hope that whatever government we get, we'll get the government we deserve. But at the end of the day, we'll still rely on ourselves. Diba? And yun pa rin yun. Tayo-tayo. Tayo-tayo pa rin na magtutulungan. Tayo-tayo pa rin nagmamahalan. So, yun lang naman. Maraming salamat ulit. And sana magkaroon tayo ng a better 6 years in the future. We'll see. We really can't tell. Pero thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe. Maraming salamat.